50 million power player taking Attila Takeda rally and surviving. This is mind-blowing, and I got super hyped about his reports, so we gotta check them out in this video. Hello my friends, and welcome back to another Rise of Kingdom video. My name is Legend Ronnie, and today I'm gonna showcase another player. He's a 50 million power player who took rally after rally. He took swarms and what else? And survived, actually laughing in the face of danger with a 50 million power account. If this is something that you're interested or you are hyped as much as I am of what a 50 million power account can do in Rise of Kingdoms, I would say that he is a low spender, a very low spender, because he doesn't have max technology and he is a 50 million power account. His commanders are not even max, as I showed you at the beginning of the video. I'm gonna make sure to show them again. He sent me the reports. He took even Attila Takeda rallies, and I was super impressed about it. So I want to go through it. I want to go through his reports. I'm going to showcase his account for a little bit because, oh boy, there are players that are maybe 70, 80, 100 million power players, and they cannot take this. Before I'm gonna go further and show you some of the reports, I do have to mention a couple of things. I've done a video yesterday, which I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna post the cards on the top, about a 60 million power player who took rally after rally. He took 6 rallies, one after another. He did have time between them to heal, but he was still there. He didn't move. This 60 million power player that I showcased yesterday, he was part of the 4 kingdoms that were against other 4 kingdoms. Now the other 4 kingdoms, they had a player similar with that, and this is the player that I'm showcasing right now. Basically, it's the same Lost Kingdom, but I showcase one player from one side of the 4 kingdoms and one player from the other side of the 4 kingdoms. So I find it very interesting, and I felt that it would be funny to show from one side what one side done and to show from the other side what the other side done. So let's go into it and let's showcase more. He didn't send me his talent trees, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna be some regular talent trees for Charles Martel. There isn't really so many options you could go with a talent tree on Charles Martel. So this is what I would generally do for my city if I would have to defend with a Charles Martel. The option, you notice that I have 8 talent points left. Once you get to this part, you kind of have options. You want to go further. You can get the pseudo formation. Some players don't like to go for it because you get march speed, which doesn't help you in Garrison. I highly agree about that. March speed doesn't really help you. I like the pseudo formation. It really helps in some situation, but it's very situational. If you're not happy with that option, then you can just go for some more stats, either for infantry. You can go for more health, more defense, and more defense. You could put 3 defense and 2 health more on your infantry, or you can just go for some general stats, increasing attack, increasing health, whatever other options you have over here or on this side. Now personally, I'm gonna go with the pseudo formation because 1-2 stats extra, I don't think it will make such a huge impact. Alright, so there you have it, the pseudo formation. The reason I'm liking to choose the pseudo formation is because if you get the Attila Takeda rallies, I would rather just not change the talent trees, to be honest. Not much more you can get if you change the talent tree, and the pseudo formation can help you against Attila, because even if it's normal attack to reduce all damage, like including counter attack, normal attack for 1 turn, it will help you a lot. You might just get this 1 time in 10 turns or 2 times in 10 turns. If you're lucky enough, you might get it 3 times in 10 turns. But as an average, you could just put it 1 time in 10 turns. If you reduce that normal attack and counter attack from Attila Takeda, I would say that it is a plus. Then overall adding how much? Another 1% attack, 1% health to all marches, and 1% defense, or 2% health in total 1 defense. I would say that that's way too minimal stats compared to the pseudo formation. His commanders of choice, like I showed in the beginning of the video, was Charles Martel and Theodora. Now, the way I can tell you that he is not max technology, you can go by the Cav health, the Archer health, and the Siege health. You're noticing that it is way higher. So a player that is max tech, he's somewhere around 72-75% in the Lost Kingdom, with siege health or archer defense or whatever. He's way lower than that. He's like on 50 something percent. The second one, it was his watchtower. When I watched one of the reports, it was 40,000. So I'm 100% sure he's not max tech. Plus the amount of troops, which it might just ring you a couple of things. From Guan Yu and Alexander. He filled up his hospital, 576,000 severely wounded. He caused them 280,000 dead. 2.6 million rally. It means that they have the circle with 10% rally capacity and I believe all damage. This rally had reinforcements. This is very important that you want to keep in mind. You see the remaining troops with the slightly wounded and the dead troops. You do the math, that's 3.6, that's almost 4 million. I believe that he bubbles. So this is the watchtower damage. That's why I'm saying that he's not max. His amount of troops, almost 10 million troops. I'm also going to explain the reason behind it. A little bit of a swarm or some marches that were around it took a little bit of damage for a little while, but that's pretty much about it on this report. Infantry dominating. From what I'm noticing over here, he was with Germany because he has Teutonic Knights. I believe because he trained troops, he wanted to profit from the 5% training. Later on, we're going to see he switched to France for the 3% health boost. 3.3 million infantry, regular infantry, a bunch of tier 2 troops, and what do we see at the bottom? You're probably not seeing because I'm covering a little bit, but those are tier 1 infantry. 4.3 million of tier 1 infantry. 386,000 went in the hospital. Now, why is the reason behind it on training so large amount of tier 1? The reason behind it is that it takes 3 seconds to heal tier 1. So for him to empty the hospital of those tier 1 was literally 3 seconds, and he got 400k empty of his hospital. Everything else that he needed to heal was most likely a very low amount of speed ups. The tier 2 also don't take very long, and the reason and the theory behind this is I've done a video about it as a trap account. Make sure I'm going to post a card on the top. Is that you have a large amount of tier 4 in the city and you have large amount of lower tiers in the city. The lower tier absorb the damage. Exactly what happened over here. You see, considering that is 4.2 million versus 3.3 million, 386 went in the hospital because they are lower tier. But the higher tier, they are the ones that empower his damage. They are the ones that were managing to hold for that long, because doing the math on the stat wise, the tier 4 bring the highest value. So overall, he won because he has a very low amount of hospital, even that you saw 571,000. So pretty much double than the rally, right? They took 280,000 dead. But how many marches did it needed to keep reinforcing? Because I showed you at the beginning, he didn't just kept a rally leader busy with this account, he also gave them dead, and the rally also needed reinforcements. So there was a lot of people that he kept busy by the time they would keep rallying his city and the time spent, and he didn't lose anything because he can just heal everything almost instantly. Now, this theory works very well in many other war games of having this large amount of tier 1 troops and a large amount of higher tier troops. Like I was just mentioning, the lower tier absorb the damage and the higher tier just do the damage. This would be the easiest way to explain it. But in Rise of Kingdoms, the problem is the hospital limit. So I'm pretty sure he bubbled at this point. I'm pretty sure he reached his hospital limit, because if he doesn't have Watchtower max, most likely doesn't have all the hospital maxed. Meaning that the tier 1 has a very less impact as he would want to. But we're going to see some other rallies that are really going to astound you. Alright, so this is some reports about swarming. These players swarm him from MCO. I suppose they don't care about troops. I don't know. So this is what a large amount of troops can help you. Right, these are all T5 players that most likely don't care so much about troops. He took 58,000 severely wounded, 100 and almost 9k dead. These are dead troops. Like I said, this player probably don't care about the troops. They probably enjoyed it. They even enjoyed doing this. But then look at this. This is very interesting. Guan Yu and Alexander, 137,000 severely wounded to him and 86,000 dead only, compared to Constantine and John, which most likely lasted the longest. Or because of the heal, 41,600 heal from Constantine. Yeah, that might just be the cause of the extra dead. 78,000 dead versus 50,000 severely wounded, 51,000 severely wounded, 56,000 dead, 110k dead, rip Ethelflaed, 116k severely wounded. Alright, this is another player hitting him with only 25 expansion, 25,000 dead, 78,000 dead. So how many dead did he actually cause them? Until he filled his hospital, I'm not sure if he left or the players stopped hitting him. But WTF to that, he got swarmed. I mean, who wouldn't enjoy having his city there, 50 million power, and getting swarmed by all those T5 and imagining how much money they spent for those troops, right? I mean, who wouldn't love that? I mean, I would love it. I'm pretty sure the people who swarmed didn't care because they pretty much enjoy it too. I like swarming shit as well. I mean, flags, I just don't have the troops all the time to do that, but I like swarming the shit out of flags, man. Anyway, this is just what people like to do. To doing roughly about the math, so about 430k T5. If you want to retrain these troops, I've done approximately the math, is most likely about $1,000 worth in Call of the Ancient bundle. I've done the math that spending the speed ups and the gems from Call of the Ancients, from 3 Call of the Ancients, you can train about 510k T5s. It depends, plus and minus, with the speed up, the training speed up that you have, right? Because it's 15% rune civilization, etc., etc. About 510, 550k. So about 430k, I would say that is about 1,000. 3 full Call of the Ancients is 1,200. So how about that? So both definitely had tons of fun in this. This is the third swarm. This is from PK Hulk. I know PK Hulk, so he definitely didn't care either about the troops. Oh, he chained. So he started with his Guan. Wow, this is impressive. He started with his Guan as the tank and his 4 archer marches as marches were getting defeated, and he was just bringing them back. Wow, WTF to that. I mean, I would love to have an account like this. Hospital full, he took 25,000 dead. On this one, he took 15,000 dead. When he came back with Artemisia and YSG, and another 3,000 dead, and I suppose he bubbled at this point. Yep, when Hulk came back with the second round, yep, he definitely bubbled. But still, he caused quite some dead. He killed Gohan again. I haven't done the math, but I would estimate somewhere around 600k T5 dead on this one, just from one player. Like I said, this player probably don't care about troops anyway. And this is another swarm that he took from Handy Boner. Not sure from which alliance is he, and I think he was not in the alliance, which this is why it cost him so many death. He lost a lot of bonuses not being in the alliance. Oh yeah, he was either waiting to get in, he didn't care about, but that's a lot of bonuses that he lost for not being in the alliance. So look at that. My friend over here, who is a very low power account, low tech and stuff like that, you're noticing his arrows being on green just because Handy Boner was not in the alliance, so he was missing all the shrines, all the relics, all the other stuff that you get from the alliance. A lot of stuff, obviously. 165 cav attack. I mean, yeah, that's pretty low. 160,000 dead. All T5s. WTF to that. All going down the shizzle. 112k dead. 70k dead. Attila Takeda. And only 27 severely wounded. Wow. You see why Attila Takeda is not great when you have large amount of troops. 114k dead, 78k severely wounded. So Handy Boner, they took it. 4 marches, a lot of dead. Alright, now let's watch some other rallies. He took a Genghis and Saladin, which was not maxed. Apparently 99T left that rally to go all the way down. 500,000 dead. It just cost them 500 million dead, just like that. He took 466,000 severely wounded, and he stood there like a boss and laughed in the face of danger. And this is one rally that he most likely bubbled on this one. So this is Attila Takeda with reinforcements from 1990 after that Genghis, because you can see by the timeline, the watchtower damage 2000. That's how much the watchtower managed to heal between the rallies after the Genghis rally. There was also some marches next to it, which added a little bit of flavor to some dead troops. But again, looking on the severely wounded, 272,000 from the total of 570, close to a half, 40%. They are tier 1, which takes them 3 seconds to heal. Going on the troops buff, max Attila Takeda, obviously, and a non-max Theodora. If my friend would have had a max Theodora, it would have been a game changer for him. A total game changer. Not to mention the 4 skill from Theodora, the 40% increased damage of Garrison troops. That's a big plus. And then 1700 nuke once Theodora has her expertise. Theodora is also debuffing Takeda, because the most important things from Takeda is the primary skill and the expertise. The primary skill lasts for 4 seconds and the expertise does 30% increased normal attack damage for those 4 seconds. For each second, empowers Attila enormously. So if you can debuff, this is why Charles and Theodora are so amazing against Attila Takeda, but you need a max skill Theodora for that. And Attila and Takeda, on the other hand, has a 50% chance to deal extra 50% damage and can trigger once every 2 seconds. This can trigger twice. It happened to me that it only triggered once because it has 50% chance. So it can go in the first seconds, then you have 2-second cooldown, and then it can go in the next second, or in the third or fourth second can go again. But if you're unlucky and it doesn't go in the first second, then it only triggers once. If it triggers twice, that's a large amount of damage. That's why max kill Theodora, if it managed to debuff Takeda, that's a big blow for Attila Takeda rallies. After that, he wanted to try some other rallies. So on this one, he took Ramses and Tomiris. The rally wasn't filled up when it was launched. But judging by the slightly wounded and the remaining troops with the dead troops, yeah, 1 reinforcement there was in the rally. And my friend still standing strong over here with 450,000 severely wounded, which 311,000 are tier 1. So how is my theory working about the tier 1 absorbing the damage? How many tier 4 he needs to heal? Next to nothing. Right, now this seems to be a little bit of a juicy one. Oh yeah, this was very bad on him. I suppose that he had War Frenzy. He took 500,000 dead. RIP. Let's see which troop did he lost. So he did lost 144,000 tier 4. He did lost, let's say, about 200,000 tier 4. He did lost. That's not really that crazy. 200k tier 4 and about 300k are the other tiers. Yeah, that's pretty good. I mean, he lost tier 1, tier 2, those don't really care, just 200k tier 4. That's pretty solid and filled his hospital. I think there's a couple more dead down the road. Again, Attila Takeda, which was reinforced, I can tell you by the remaining troops, the slightly wounded. If he had a Max Theodora, I'm repeating this, a Max Theodora would have changed this enormously in his favor. Going further down is a couple of marches that were sitting next to the city. 19,000 dead, that's pretty cool. 22,000 dead, 9,000 dead, 176,000 dead. And these are siege, but still, there's 176,000 dead. Those are gone. Oh, they did hit the city, but just caused severely wounded to the city. 57,000 dead. He did hit the city, but then he stopped. Oh no, this is mix of troops with some siege. Going further down, 4,000 dead, 78,000 dead. This is Attila in double C. And there are Cavs, 79 T5 dead. Again, these are all gone, like forever. And he only took like 9,000 severely wounded. After that, we have another 65,000. I'm not sure why people swarm me with this low amount of marches. But anyway, he definitely enjoyed it. And there you go, another 8,000 dead for him. And another 65,000 T5 dead. Gone. Another 6,000, another 30,000 dead. And again, they were not hitting the city. 16,000 dead, 4,000, 8,000. A big hit on this one because most likely he had the War Frenzy when he unbubbled. But judging by the amount of order that he caused, I mean, I would say that he kind of won. He lost about 200k T4, which is very manageable, and 300k of the lower tiers, 1 and 2. I still said that was pretty okay. For the amount of fun overall he had so far, I mean, what's wrong in that? So this was his only downfall. It was Attila Takeda rallies. And that was because his Theodora is not max. If he had the max Theodora, damn, this would have look so way better, because that Takeda empowers Attila so much you have no idea. That's why I always advise max Takeda before Attila. 585,000 seems to be his max hospital capacity. A lot of T5s dead. And this rally was reinforced. We were probably wondering, well, only 1.8 million rally, but this rally was reinforced. And let's see, what does he needs to heal? 257,000 are all tier 1. That takes 3 seconds. Was this a win-win situation? I would say yeah. I mean, why not? This can be your alt account, which you have separately from your main account. This type of accounts, I like to call them side project. So when you want to build an account like this, if you want to do your main, that's fine. It's entirely up to you. But I would like to call this account a side project. I wanted to do the same with my alt account with People Please. You all know I showed him a couple of times in my videos and my live streams, and I'm still doing it. That was my plan. It was supposed to be a trap account, but then things escalated from there and it just became a more important alt account because he had the speed ups, and I got the design, the legendary design with 5% skill damage, and I said, okay, I might turn this into a more than a trap account, more like a Garrison commander. So it became very important in supporting rallies and reinforcing flags. So he kind of lost like 4.5 million troops overall. It just didn't manage to get to be a trap account, his max tech and all that. So this is the cherry on top of the tree, another Attila Takeda rally, and this is where he gave them the big blow. Now this rally had a reinforcement, hardly to tell, maybe it was even swarmed towards the end, but I would say that some reinforcement it did got, maybe 1 or 2, and there you go, wow, 53,000 T5s, 15, yeah, that was definitely reinforced. Because some people are having way too low dead, and means that they just reinforced. 40,000 dead, yeah, 50,000. Whoever sent full marches in the initial rally, 50,000 dead. Yikes. So it was a full cav rally, but towards the end it had a little bit of infantry. Well, still, it's 416,000 dead to them, and he only had hospital bills. And how many tier 1s? 241,000, so about 40%. Personally, I was pretty hyped when I saw his reports, except the one that he took about 500,000 dead. But still, it's not a big blow. Didn't do the calculation very right with the War Frenzy. I enjoyed it much, especially when I saw that he's a 50 million power account and took Attila rallies and swarms and all that things, and he just stood there. I mean, it pretty hyped me a lot, because I know that a lot of free-to-play players can achieve this. If you don't spend all your universals researching and you just train a bunch of troops and a lot of troops, you can achieve this. And like I said, this can be side projects. Exactly like I had my alt account. People please, my alt account is at 2.8 million troops right now, and it has about 4.5 million troops dead. And not to mention that I have all the T5s unlocked, and I mostly have T5 dead and T5 troops. Now, if you want to convert all that speed ups in a lot of tier 4, just if you only add the numbers of troops, 4.5 plus 2.8, and you can get to about 7.3 million troops. Now, if you want to convert from T5 to T4, could probably get at account about 9 million tier 4 as well if I wanted to. Easy. And it could have become the trap account that I wanted to. But hey, things change throughout the history of playing it, so it is what it is. But again, until next time, this is your boy Geroni signing off, and I do hope you like these kind of videos. I enjoyed it a lot. What low power or probably free to play can do. Peace out, y'all, and take care. See you on the next one, and stay safe out there.